Right, and here we are. Let's see, what are we getting into today? Today. Oh, yeah, that. So, should probably run over there. Quickly make sure everything's looking good. Everything's looking grand. Grand. Perfect. Wonderful. I should really, once again, I need to properly start vetting things before I start doing them. But you know what? That would be professionalism, and I absolutely refuse to have that. Let's see, let me. There we go. Okay, perfect. Oh, hello, people. Gosh. There we go. Boom. Perfect. This is a somewhat surprise stream. I wasn't planning to do it today, but I didn't have well, basically the main thing I was supposed to be doing today, kind of didn't end up taking as long, so I had a bit of free time, and I'm going to be working on this world anyway, so I figured I might stream and, just kind of, hang out, How are y'all doing? Oh, by the way, I should mention, technically, you guys are getting a sneak peek at this weekend's episode and what we're doing in it. I can show you guys. I mean, the video will hopefully be up Saturday. I think, since my schedule's been cleared out, I'll be finished by Saturday afternoon, probably. But, which means there'll probably be another stream again on Monday, on Sunday. But, yeah, we've kind of got this thing here, the storage room. I got tired of all the chests I had placed literally all across the map. So we kind of got this. You'll see it again later. Probably a time-lapse of me building it. But anyway, we're going to take some cobblestone, at least for the very start of this whole thing. Because... Oh, wait, where are my tools? I need a couple of shovels. I'll take both. I tend to like having both shovels, actually, weirdly enough. Because... this one is really good for just destroying a ton of blocks, and this one's good for detail work. But anyway, just wanted to head down here real quick and get working on today's project, or the project I've been working on so far. But you'll notice a little bit of this looks a bit different from last time you saw it. Namely, I got the barrier over here, and I've started moving it more this direction. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, hey, Tux. How are you doing? I haven't seen Tux in a long time. Anyway, you record the episodes on stream? Not usually. I just have a lot of extra free time today, and, I was going to do this anyway. I felt like I could stream, though, let you guys be involved with a bit of the process. Especially because, well, I'll talk more about that later. We'll kind of see. But I need to figure out first what I'm doing. Which is usually the complicated part. Namely, I need to figure out where this is going. Doing alright, how have I been? I'm doing good. Been very busy, very tired, but we be doing good. Alright, well, I'm thinking at least, and this might be subject to change as we kind of move forward. But if you've seen the title of the stream, you know what I'm working on here, and that is the bug house, which is the thing the episode is going to be on. But the main problem the main thing I'm running into at this point is trying to figure out how I'm actually going to build it. I have ideas, and I figured I might just do a little bit of that. I don't know, stream it for some reason. Okay, I do need to figure out. I say we're working on the bug house. What we're really going to be doing, probably for the most part, is just digging terrain. Because, that do be what I do 99% of the time. So I'm gonna very quickly just start kind of taking down this hill a bit. Because, what else would you do? Keep a hill? Keep the naturally generated terrain? Nah, you gotta make custom terrain. That's the way of the future. Custom terrain. It is really funny though. Let's see, where are we? I did kind of realize recently that the kind of stuff we've been doing so far in this series is kind of, well, kind of funny because it's pretty far ahead of where I'd usually be at this point. So I should probably just throw the cobblestone down if I'm just going to be digging for a bit. Do I make a new chest or do I run it back to this? I just built the storage room, so I need to be throwing stuff in there and not running around and chucking it in random chests again, because that's what we're trying to stop me from doing. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, anyway. I realized I'm doing like all the terrain kind of projects I usually don't do till like, you know, we're like 20, 30 episodes into a series. Because I was actually looking back at some of my old videos, and I found it very funny that like the stuff I'm doing in like episodes like 2, 3, and 4, like, you know, we already had, by the time I started doing this stuff last time, we already had like 4 or 5 animals in the park, and, you know, we had like exhibits and a pathway system, and that's when I started doing like all the custom terrain and stuff. So it's just kind of funny to me to realize like, oh, I'm like if you were to put my dinos stuff on like a schedule of like what I get done and when I get it done, we are like literally months ahead of schedule. At the same time, we're also like a bit behind where I'd like to be in some regards, because, you know, we don't really have much of a park. We kind of just have our collection of sheds, but, you know, it's cool. I enjoy it. I'm very happy with it. Let me just... Oh, something's... All right. It is, I think, a bit of a weird time for me to be streaming, isn't it? It's 2 on a Thursday? Well, at least it's 2 o'clock for me, but... let's check in here. Wait, this one. Start throwing dirt in there. You know, I'm gonna check the cobblestone. I mean, realistically, I don't even need that much. Probably a couple, like, 4 stacks would be enough to make a good outline for what we're building, or what I need to build. Should I record? No, I'm not gonna put it. I want to make a time lapse of me doing the thing. I don't know. I don't know. See, one of the problems with me making these videos, and it's definitely one of the more behind the scenes things you guys see with these streams. I'm very indecisive with how I want to do things, like big projects and whatnot, but also even like how I want to make the videos. Do I want to do time lapses? Do I want to do longer cuts, shorter cuts, longer episodes, shorter episodes, all that kind of nonsense? And currently, I'm trying to figure out all of this. How much to get done now? Let's see. How big is this building going to be? I'm trying to remember. I have been on my like test build world, and I think I've made about 9 or 10 different bug house designs at this point, or like carboniferous style building designs at this point. Like, I've made so many, and a lot of them were really cool looking, and I've kind of got some ideas for exactly how I want this to look. The problem I keep running into is one of scale, and it's something you don't notice, I think, as much. Let me actually sounds. I'm gonna turn that down a little bit because the dirt block breaking is kind of making me go deaf. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one of the few problems I run into with like a test build world though is like, you know, when you're on a super flat world and you're just kind of placing down blocks trying to come up with ideas, which is a really good thing. I think it's always good to have, like, you know, a way to kind of test out ideas before you spend, like, you know, 2 hours clearing dirt and then like another 4 or 5 hours building the thing. The problem you run into is scale though, because when you have no limitations, scale just kind of goes out the window, and you don't, like, you're building super cool stuff, but then suddenly you kind of step back for a minute and you start like measuring things, and you suddenly realize this building would be super cool to have in the survival world, but it would literally take me like a month to build because it's so big. And that's what I kind of been running into so far with this project. Oh, hey, Josh. How are you doing, man? Opinions on the new Jurassic World trailer? I actually still haven't seen it. Huh. Mean to do that? Yeah, I haven't actually seen it yet. Because, honestly, I just keep forgetting. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm interested in watching another Jurassic Park movie, to be honest. I don't even think I watched all the... I don't... What was it? I think last time I streamed, people asked me. I hadn't seen it, and I haven't seen even the last Jurassic World Park movie thing that came out. I can't remember if I saw the one before that. I may have seen it, but I think I only saw it once. Or I've only seen it once, so I don't really remember it too well. Did I watch it? I think I did watch it. It must have just been I saw it once with friends or something like that. I don't remember really. But yeah, no, I haven't seen the trailer for it yet. Does it look any good? Hello, everyone. Concept is weird, execution will be good. Okay. I mean, if it's a decent movie, I'll probably check it out at some point. When's it come? Oh, people were telling me, it comes out this summer? Is that it? I might check it out. It will depend. Well, I could just watch the trailer on stream. And then, get just absolutely ripped apart by, what is it, Universal? That'd be funny. Just stream randomly goes down. It's because, Universal has decided that my channel can no longer exist. I'm saying that like it would be funny. It would probably be, well, I'd be a bit sad if my channel got taken down by Universal. Be a bit annoying. Probably wouldn't want to go watch the new Jurassic World movie then. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm honestly rambling because my brain is cooked from like earth moving and stuff like this. Well, also I just had a really busy morning. A good morning, just busy. So I'm a little, I think I'm a little mentally tired, and that means my brain is going to go in like 90 trillion different directions. Granted, that's probably normal for me. I don't know. What am I even saying? Anyway. Dino-human hybrids. Okay, that's cool. That was like the old original idea for the new Jurassic Park movies, wasn't it? To do dino-human hybrids? Or was that, wait, no. Was that a movie, or was that just like that horror attraction they did in like the... Is that the... I don't remember. It was sometime a long while ago. Universal Studios, the theme park had like a dinosaur haunted house thing with dino-human hybrids or whatever. I think that's right. I don't know. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's out in July. Okay. Watching this as you study for an exam. Oh, dang. Good luck on your exam. I hope you do well. Let me see what you're saying. New Minecraft snapshots, flowers, bushes, leaf litter, animal varieties. Oh. I still haven't really looked at anything with the new updates, but that sounds cool. I'm always up for a bit of I don't know what you call that, like an ambience update almost, just like adding clutter to the world to make it a bit more interesting. I think that's always a cool idea. I mean, granted, that is like 90% of the mods I usually play with in games like this, or like zoo builders or anything like that. They are just like things that make the world slightly prettier to be in, because at least to me, like the aesthetics of an in-game world are probably the most important thing, you know, want it to look nice. Which is also why I probably spend so much time, you know, digging out terrain and whatnot. You know, like, I feel like, well, actually, you know what? I think what I'm thinking of really is more back in the day Minecraft videos and, like, Dino series. It's, like, way back when this was all brand new, really. Like, kind of, like the original like Poet Plays series and stuff like that. Terrain wasn't really something people did at the time for videos or like big worlds and whatnot. Terrain was just kind of, you just used normal Minecraft terrain generation and built giant squares to keep your dinosaurs in. Which, I don't know, part of me wants to kind of do like a... Part of me really wants to do like a... Maybe like an April Fool's thing almost. But just like a joke series of like building a fossils and archaeology park in 1.5 or something like that. Or like 1.5.10, and just building it how people used to build enclosures. So, you know, it's all like fences, like when I say like fence blocks in big squares, it's all completely flat, and that was how people built parks. And I don't know, just kind of do it as kind of like a throwback thing. I don't know if I will do it, but I thought that would be funny to do. I also like yaks and cold biomes. That's cool. I like that. Universal will sue me to oblivion. Thank you. Like, please, Universal, take my channel down. Just, you know, do it. Be based. Oh, way back when it was a Telltale game. Oh, dang. Man, I forgot about the Jurassic Park Telltale game. That was a long time ago now. Man. I mean, I remember it. I remember when it came out and watching Let's Plays of it because, you know, it was pretty cool back then. Nowadays, I don't know if it's all that good. You know, maybe I could replay that at some point. No, I don't think I would, actually. I don't overly play a lot of story-based games. I think there's not a lot of story-based games I actually enjoy. I tend to like less story-based? I don't know. It depends what I'm playing, I guess. I mean, like, story-based game-wise, I mean, I played a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. I played a bit of Divinity 2 Original Sin, stuff like that. I don't know. I like the occasional, like, RPG story game, but... wait. I need to check. Can I just, like... Doesn't heal it all the way. Okay, how much to fully repair that shovel? Because it's getting close to breaking, and... for the time being, at least, I cannot be bothered to go and find a mending villager. So watching your old videos the other day, World Tour Season 4 and 3. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I don't even remember. No, wait, I remember the Season 3 park. I remember that one. Season 4, I don't remember anything from, though. Or Season 5, really? I just remember Season 5 was a multiplayer one. That's about it. Everything else is just kind of like whoosh, like it's gone. I mean, I remember the last world we did, but that's only because I actually went on that world the other day. Or I've gone on there actually now a couple of times. I think over the past few weeks, actually, I've been on there a little bit. Because I think I still have the like most recent version of it that I had. And some of the older world downloads I did of it. Just kind of trying to look at some of my old builds to try and figure out how I build things. Because as I've mentioned multiple times now, you know, you don't build much for like 2 years, and strangely enough, you kind of forget how to do it. I think there's a little bit of muscle memory here and there. Like, some things I've done so much at this point, I just, like, intrinsically remember how to do it. Like, anything rock wall related. Rock walls, super easy. I could probably build those in my sleep. Because, I don't know, they're really not that hard to do anymore. But that's probably also because that's the one thing I have done across basically every series at this point. Like, I've done custom rocks and cliffs and whatnot in all the creative ones and a lot of the survival stuff. Like, I just always end up doing it. So I've had a lot more practice at that than just about everything else, except maybe shaping terrain. I've also had to do a lot of that. Fences, oddly enough, are hard for me to remember how to build. But I think that's because I don't know. Again, oddly enough, I feel like the thing I at least I feel. I mean, people could disagree, but I always felt like the thing I was the best at was terrain, and that I was like, I'm okay at designing exhibits and zoos and whatnot, but like my real skill is probably just making custom terrain. Like terrain, I really love doing. I don't know why. There's something in my brain that just goes like I get that dopamine rush whenever it gets to make terrain look real nice. Oh, okay, it was a concept dress before ambience. Okay, create a build series zoo like into a recreation of your 1.12 Austin Archeology. Oh, essentially, okay, so like, have I just thought about making my old 1.12 series as a creative part or remaking parts of it? No, I haven't. I have considered. I'll let you guys y'all in on this, because, you know, I like to reward people who come to the streams with maybe little bits of inside information, you know, stuff that might happen at some point. Like I just had mentioned a minute ago, I've been kind of going on to that 1.12 world, just to kind of like look at old builds, kind of remember how I build things, all that kind of stuff. And there are some decent builds on that world. There's a lot I wouldn't rebuild ever because I just don't think it looked very good. But there was a lot of interesting stuff on it. I might come back to it just for a video to kind of like, I don't know, do something special with it. We'll see. Like, I don't know, fully update it to 1.18 or whatever, and just kind of explore what it would have looked like, I guess. I don't know. And when I say all this is like very much like I had a random thought like the other day, and not this is a for sure thing that's happening. But it did cross my mind. It might be fun to find some way to come back and check it out. I wouldn't restart the series on that world because, well, I mean, that series ended before I even kind of stopped uploading because I think, what was it? I was working on that world for like 2.5 years. I got, you know, you can only stick on one world and one project for so long before it kind of just, I don't know, it starts to lose its appeal, its interest to you. Or maybe that's just me. I can only work on a project for so long before I kind of just, I need to move on to something new. But yeah, anyway. Keep reading. What are your plans for the build I'm doing right now? Well, right now it's just, place dirt, dig dirt. But I'm bringing you guys along for the ride of me probably making the layout for our Arthropleura, Meganeura, Diplocalus, Crassigyrinus, and Tiktaalik enclosures, which I think I had mentioned in some sort of rambling sentence a while ago. I am trying, I realized, basically I've been trying to come up with a lot of really cool designs on a test world, but I realized I had to stop doing it because on the test world, I kept making the building way too big, and it was getting to the point where it would not fit in this world without me literally, like, flattening the world back to that cliff there, and then probably spending the next month building the actual structure, so, you know. Also, the new snapshot, they had desert grass and cactus flowers, new tree animations that drop leaves. That is sick. I love that. Don't think the OG versions of the mod are still around. I think I have a way to access the 1.5 version of the mod. If I remember correctly, I have it on a thumb drive somewhere in my apartment, I think, at least. So I think I can play the old version of the mods. I would need to check, though. But yeah, anyway. What am I putting in the bug house? Like I mentioned, Meganeura, Arthropleura, and Crassigyrinus, and Diplocalus. So basically everything else that I've been talking about for the last episode or so. Oh gosh, there's only been 3 episodes so far. which is kind of weird, but, you know. I mean, I'm happy with what we've been able to get done so far. Again, like, I'm definitely jumping into much bigger projects than I normally would at this point. Like, I think the bug house is typically something, you know, we don't do for quite a while. But, I don't know. It felt like a really cool project. I always like building them. I struggled to build them because, like, you know, I've mentioned many, many times, buildings aren't always necessarily my thing. I'm not, like, the best at buildings and big structures, but I do always love having them in these worlds. I really love how they end up looking usually in the greater context, and, you know, despite the fact I'm still unsure about the lab and some of how it looks, I do think it's starting to grow on me, and I think especially as I start to build more outside of my base and more down here in these valleys as we kind of get the park going, it's gonna look a lot better. Like, already I think actually with the storage room over there, it fits a lot more. Like, it doesn't look so starkly large and out of place. Oh gosh. Spoilers for Minecraft Dinosaurs. Yeah, no, it is. This is a spoiler. Season 4 Jurassic Craft and Giant Mosasaur Stadium. Okay. Season 5. Okay, that's what you start watching. When I decided to come back, did I think about updating the old world, or did I come back knowing I was going to make a new world? I came back knowing I was going to make a new one. And the big reason for that really comes down to, in the 2 years since, I think I talked about this last time as well, but I'll mention it again. In the, like, 2.5 years since I had last worked on that world, you know, now we've moved to a brand new edition of Minecraft, so we're on a whole new version. But the real big problem with it is just, not only are we on a new version, we're on a different mod loader as well, because I'm using Fabric, so I can get a replay mod to work correctly. It's quite simply, my old world would have required... And again, even with me kind of loading it up and just checking it out in this new version, unironically, it'd probably be about, like, it would have been a couple of months of work to repair it. Because a lot of blocks were just missing. Like, there is just tons of stuff missing in that world because so many of the mods either A, have not updated to 1.18, some of the mods are dead, and some of the mods updated, but they never made a Fabric port, so I can't play them. So it's kind of like, it would have been, I do think it would have been interesting to go back to it, but there wasn't really going to be an easy way to go back to the old world, because it just, the amount of time and effort to get it back to a decent condition, I don't think would have kind of been worth it, really. I don't know. People can disagree on that, but I felt like if I was going to come back, I wanted to do something new. I wanted to restart. I wanted to try new stuff and see what I could make. Because, I don't know, to me at least, that's the most interesting thing I can do. Can you still get, let's say, a Dilophosaurus from regular biofossils or not anymore? It is an exclusive to shale fossils. Of course, it starts raining as soon as... Oh, it's a thunderstorm. Wait, I can just sleep through this. Yeah, they're an exclusive to shale fossils, which is why I've been trying to get so many. Xenomorph T-Rex statue in the bug house. I don't know if I'll have space for that. Kind of games am I playing these days? Other than this, what am I playing at this point? Well, if it's just me and it's my spare time, I play a tiny bit of War Thunder still. Not a lot of it, because that game makes my blood boil quite often if I play it for too long. So I typically won't play more than maybe like 3 matches of War Thunder, which is probably about an hour or less in a single day before I decide I've had enough. And that playing more would probably not be fun. Aside from that, I mean, I played some Hearts of Iron 4 every now and again. Some CK3. What else do I play? CK3, Hoi 4. I haven't really played much Civ in a long time. Occasionally I've been playing I play Baldur's Gate, and once in a blue moon, I mean, what have I been playing aside from that stuff? I'm genuinely trying to remember, and I can't really think of what have I been playing. I think that's really about it. Occasionally I'll play like a really chill like puzzle kind of game, just to, you know, not really think too hard and just relax. Like a lo-fi kind of game. I've been meaning to play Stardew Valley again. That's one I want to play more of. And if some of my friends are on, unfortunately, at this point, I am locked into 2 games, and that is Counter-Strike 2, which is just awful. I genuinely do not enjoy it, but my friends play it, so you know, if I want to do stuff with friends, I gotta play it. And the other thing is even worse, and that's League of Legends, which I am terrible at. I have no interest in getting better at, and yeah, I play with friends on that occasionally, and it's just not good. It's just a terrible game and a terrible experience, but they enjoy it, so you know. Sometimes you gotta play games you don't like, and. Or I guess occasionally we do, like, I'll play like Helldivers with some friends, which, I mean, that it's all right. Not my favorite, but it's better than League, at least. Well, sometimes. Other times it's arguably worse than League. And League is definitely worse than War Thunder. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway. I think we've kind of got like a decent little bit of terrain here going. Definitely a lot more space than I originally had to build, so that's good. I played Jurassic Park Survival. What's that? Because I don't know. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something. Probably minorly intelligent. Probably not, actually. It's me. Are we? When is episode 4 coming out? Well, following my usual upload schedule, probably Saturday. Hopefully Saturday. The full episode will be out. It'll be good. Hopefully the build will be mostly finished, I think, by then. It might not be, but I got a bit more time today and tomorrow to work than I was expecting to have, so that's good. Granted, I did take a fair bit of time this week to go do that speed build episode or speed build video, which if you haven't seen, go check that out. I built a Pachyrhinosaurus enclosure, which I am very happy with. The Pachyrhinosaurs in this mod are also pretty cool. They're pretty adorable, actually. I really like them. Honestly, if I know people have asked me, like, oh, what animal would you like to see in the mod? I did realize there are 2 animals I actually would love to see that I haven't looked at, like, what we're planning to add stuff in a long time, so I don't remember if either of these were on the list. But 2 animals I realized I would absolutely love to see. One would be Lystrosaurus, because I love Dicertodonts. They're so weird and adorable, and I want one. But the second was Nasutoceratops. I adore Nasutoceratops. And Diabloceratops as well. They're both really cool. But Nasutoceratops tends to be probably my favorite out of the 2. There is actually a Nasutoceratops. You know, I don't know if it's a skull or a skeleton. I think it's just a skull of a Nasutoceratops at my local natural history museum, which is really cool because, I don't know, it's just a cool little ceratops. He's just a cool guy. Styracosaurus would also be really cool. Actually, I guess thinking about it, if it's a dinosaur type thing, what I would really want in the mod is probably just more ceratopsids. I know we just got the Protoceratops, which I am really excited to do an exhibit for, either in this series or the creative one, because I really like Protoceratops. It's a very cool little animal. So I'm excited to work on that, hopefully. But yeah, anyway, more ceratopsids would be super cool to see. I love ceratopsids. They're really awesome. But yeah, also just some more pre-dinosaur animals, like a Gorgonops would be sick. A Gorgonops, Dicynodonts of any kind, really. Any weird Archosaur from the Triassic would be pretty sick. Literally any Archosaur, really, would be really cool to see. Estomatosuchus would be awesome. Granted, I think one of the main reasons I'm thinking more of those animals right now is because since this is the area I'm working on, I would like more animals to throw in here. Because I mentioned in the episode when I was working on this, but especially as I've been going through this now, I am trying to leave room. Like this area here, this part of our delta, I'm trying to leave open so I could throw in another animal over here. Likewise, along this edge here, I want space for an animal, and I need to leave space in the building, not just for, in and around the building, not just for the animals, but for future animals that might potentially, be added in, and then I gotta throw them somewhere, and I gotta figure all that out. So, yeah. Anyway, that's just kind of a look into what I'm trying to figure out with all of this. Ceratosaurus, that's one of your favorites. I am excited to do Ceratosaurus as well. I always like making exhibits for it. Usually, I think Ceratosaurus is the first carnivore I tend to get in my worlds. I think, no, one was a Velociraptor. I just know the last park I did, Ceratosaurus was the big one. And I think my Season 5 world, it was the best exhibit I had made was that Ceratosaur one. Which I never could recapture the magic of. It just worked so perfectly. I know I tried to keep, reiterating on it, and I never quite figured it out. Do I have enough space? No, I think I need to push it back further. I really do. How further back do I go, though? You know what, we could, I guess, start laying things out. I think it also depends where the path is going to be and how I'm doing the paths over here. F-18 is coming to War Thunder. Sick. Oh, yeah, that was another thing. The world height changes kind of break a lot of the stuff. That wouldn't have mattered much for that world. I had tons and tons of biofossil already. Jurassic Park horror game? Oh, is that the... Is it Jurassic Park Survival? I might check that out if that releases. I'd probably be up to check it out. I like the good occasional horror game. I mean, I played Outlast in middle school and Alien Isolation and a bunch of other stuff. So, granted, I will say, I would not be the kind of person to watch, if that came out and people were like, oh, Caden, you should play this, for a video. I can honestly say you guys probably would not enjoy watching me play a horror game for the most part. Because I don't know. I don't really get scared in horror games. Horror games don't scare me. What I usually get scared by in video games is when it's not a horror game and something happens that suddenly or unexpectedly that just gets me. For instance, I played Alien Isolation. I have been I have been scared more by bats in Minecraft randomly flying at me from the entrance of a cave than I have playing that game. So, again, I think that'd be cool. I don't think people would want to watch me play it. I'd have very uninteresting reactions, I think, for the most part. And I'm not a good enough actor to do the, the fake YouTuber overreaction. Also, I just kind of hate the fake YouTuber overreaction to everything. It's come on, man. Really? Ugh. I don't know. Again, like I've mentioned before, I'm a bit of a YouTube boomer. I am old, and I was watching stuff on this website way back when. That is kind of the weird thing when you I guess, use a platform like this for so long, you watch so many trends come and go and all that stuff, and so many phases of it come and go, and you're just like, wow, why am I still here? Why am I still watching all this? Well, I'm not really watching as much as I used to. I mean, I don't even watch as many people as I used to back in the day. Granted, I think a lot of the channels I used to watch like don't even make videos anymore. Which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. So no Devonian creatures. I'd be up for any. Basically, I'm up for any sort of animal being added to the mod. I just think it'd be cool to get more pre-dinosaur animals. I think those would be super cool because we don't have a lot of them yet right now, and I don't know. I think it'd add a bit more variety to the mod. You keep thinking about playing Stardew, but after playing with friends, you're less motivated to do solo play. I haven't checked out Civ 6 yet. Hey, if you ever want to play Civ 6, let me know. If you can get the other boys to want to play it, I will absolutely play that with y'all. Because I like Civ 6 a lot. Even though I know, community-wise, people always like just trash on it and go,
Civ 6 is the worst thing that's ever happened to the Civilization franchise.
Although I guess they're not even saying that anymore, because Civ 7 came out, and now everyone's just ragging on Civ 7, calling it the worst thing that's ever happened to the Civ franchise. And people said that about Civ 5, and Civ 4, and Civ 3, and Civ 2, and Civ Beyond Earth, and Alpha Centauri. Basically, if you want to know something about the Civ community, they hate every new game. And give it a few years, and the people who really liked the previous game will still hate the new game, even if it's not as bad as they said it was, and there'll be a whole new group of people who adore the brand new game. It's just how it goes every single time. So it's just funny to watch. Like, you know what? Just kind of sit back, relax, and watch the community light itself on fire over things they, you know, that probably won't even be the same in like a couple of months. I should not have thrown all that dirt away, but I'm probably gonna mine more dirt, so it'll be fine. Okay, I need to figure out here. And maybe it would help if I open up my map here. Oh, I've explored a lot. Ugh. But anyway, see, I'm trying to think, because I think we're going to eventually expand out towards here. And start throwing stuff in this valley, or this area over here. And probably also around here. I don't know. I will say, I did notice compared to my other Dinos series, and I think this just has to do with the newer terrain generation that came with 1.18. Everything is a lot more hilly, I think, than it used to be. Like, I was looking back at that old world because a lot of it was in a plains biome, and it was not this hilly. There were hills, but they were not quite this big. So that was kind of interesting. You're sure the previews had Nasudo and Starako and several other Ceratopsians. Nice. Hello. Witcher games are pretty good. Yeah, I've been told that by some other people. Working on a Ceratosaurus going for an arid pine forest look. What blocks used for that arid look? For wood, you could try using acacia. Bughouse, yes, Bughouse. I should get netherite. I should. I can't be bothered right now. Okay, like, I will get netherite. That is something I'm going to do, is get netherite. However, I will be very forthright here. It'll probably be on a stream, because if I remember correctly, because I've only gone for netherite once, and it was with a friend on a server that another friend of ours hosted. And we basically just went in with about like 90-something beds and just used those to basically tunnel out the nether. We didn't have TNT, but we did have a sheep farm. And honestly, doing it once made me never want to go for netherite ever again. Like, I know netherite is great. I know it, you know, is super good for tools and all this stuff. But my goodness, I just cannot stand actually trying to get it. It's just kind of, ugh. That, and I keep forgetting it's in the game because, I mean, I'd say really until like the last year or so, most of my time has been spent in 1.12. So, you know, like, versions that don't have netherite. So I kind of just keep forgetting it's a thing. Which, you know, I might have to move that pathway, I'm realizing. Because we do need more space for building. And if the path comes out right there, that does kind of make it a bit more difficult. Alright. You built a bug house, but you didn't realize you got a seasons mod, so now in the winter it snows in the biome and it looks weird. You got so many biome options. Terralith, Tectonic, Biomes of Plenty, Macaws suite of mods. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is a, that's a lot of biome mods. I did consider using things like Terralith. Because I've played with it with friends, and it is a really fantastic mod. I mean, Terralith and Tectonic and stuff like that, they do make your worlds just look absolutely incredible. But, I don't know. There's something nostalgic about playing this mod for me, or at least for me, playing this mod on just a normal vanilla world, and just kind of seeing what we find. And more importantly, at least to me, building our own world out of it. Because that was even something that was kind of cool when I was going back through some of the older stuff, basically some of the old world downloads from the last Dinos Park I did, was going to one of the earliest ones I had, and then going to, you know, one of my own personal saves of it, and just kind of seeing like how much I actually did in terms of terrain on that. Like, I did an insane amount of work just building custom terrain, which is kind of cool. I do really like that part of this game. That's probably one of the things I love most about Minecraft. It's just, you know, it gives you the open world. It lets you do whatever you want with it. But you can also just take whatever world you get and you can just build an entirely new world on top of it. I don't know. I find that very fun. I find that very, I don't know. Just great. Whereas, at least to me, I feel like that's one of the things I've not quite enjoyed as much with things like Terralith, is just, it's a fantastic mod, again, don't get me wrong, its terrain generation is insane, but it also kind of de-incentivizes, you know, needing to do more terrain work, because the terrain already looks so good. I mean, half the time I would look at it and I'd be like, I don't even know what I could, like, change here or fix. It just looks so good. Which is just kind of funny to me, you know? Not used to that, really. Oh, I do think it's funny now, I'm just thinking about it, that I named this stream working on the bug house. And I've done none of that yet. So far, we've just been digging destroying a hill, so that way we can get a space to build the building. But again, a very me thing to do, you know? You know, don't work on the actual build project. You gotta work on the terrain first. I mean, granted, I guess also, if I wanted to be a lot smarter about this, what I would probably do is start working on the building, or just like dig out a huge, like, ugly flat square or something into the terrain, build the building, and then just build new terrain around the building to fit it. But I don't like doing that because I like to keep my terrain nice. As nice as I can keep it while I'm making new terrain. But yeah, it is funny to me that, like, again, way back in the day, no one did terrain, and now I feel like, you know, everyone does this kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. Which is also, I should mention, it's not me trying to be like, oh, I was part, you know, I'm part of the reason. No, like, I mean, I started doing terrain because I saw other creators who were doing fantastic looking terrain, and I was like, oh, well, I want to try that. Like, you know, I want to see if I can make nice looking hills and whatnot. And I don't know, it just stuck with me. I really like it. I'm not gonna be one of those people who's like, you see, I was the reason this whole thing kicked off or became big on YouTube. Because, like, I mean, 90% of the time, I'm like, you know, like, I think, you know, that person may have, like, tried the idea before a lot of other people did, but that doesn't mean they necessarily made that idea a thing. In, like, a strange way, which I think is kind of coming from, like, a historical standpoint of, like, the steam engine was invented long before the Industrial Revolution happened, but the Industrial Revolution didn't happen when the first steam engines were invented. It happened when, I don't know, there was more of a need for a steam engine, or an actual purpose for it. That wasn't just, hey, we got a cool, like, gimmick here. Anyway, what was I talking about? What was I meant to be saying? Oh, yeah. I think if I push this back a little bit more, I can start working on the building. And I guess if I pushed it back to here, I think my last one actually did run up against a hill, although I think I got rid of the hill eventually. Did I get rid of that entire hill eventually? I think I did, actually. Maybe I do build the bug house over in this area instead, because this is a lot more land and it's a lot more flat already. I don't know. Let's see. What is going on with my hotbar? Oh, yeah, people organize their hotbars, don't they? I don't, unless I'm, like, in the middle of a building project, then I tend to organize it more. Did I build the storage building? No, that was built before. I think I built that. I think this one I built on, like, Monday? I think I built it Monday morning. Or Monday afternoon? I don't remember. Monday, I think I built the storage building. You'll see me building it in the actual episode. I just... no, I mean, there's no real point trying to be like, oh, you know, I can't show off anything I built. Because, I mean, I can't really hide any of this. We'll check the coal in here. That being said, if you're upset by how I organize my inventory, my hotbar, do not pay attention to how I've organized my storage room. There isn't really a system to most of this. It's just nonsense. But again, I mean, that's how I do things here. That's how we roll. You know? Would ever do a Fossils Park themed SMP again? Well, it depends what you mean by that. Do you mean like a multiplayer server for like viewers, or do you mean like I run a Dinos SMP with other YouTubers? Because if it's running one with other YouTubers, I don't know, maybe. I don't know if I don't know if I'd do Dinos, honestly, if I were gonna do that though, because, you know, I don't want to run 2 survival series, and most of the people I know who do dinosaurs already have their own worlds and their own parks. So while I do think it would be cool to do an SMP type thing with some of the other people I know, and would totally be up for doing collabs with them, I don't think I'd do a Dinos survival series with them. Who knows? Maybe I could do like creative mode build battles with some of the some other YouTubers who do this kind of stuff. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Or not funny. I think that could be actually. I think that could be a fun idea. You know, get a couple of us together, and then I don't know. We all have to build an exhibit for the same animal or something. Maybe throw in some like wild card thing we have to do. And but no, I think that could actually be. That might actually not be a terrible idea. I'd have to probably think it out a bit more. Ugh. 42 people watching me shovel dirt. The peak of entertainment. Alright. You know, the more I'm looking... Oh, well, I guess that's why I didn't want it to be this far away. I did want it to be nearby the river, I guess, because... I was thinking it would be kind of cool if we could integrate the Tiktaalik enclosure both into the building and into the wetlands we already have. But the more I'm looking at things, the less likely I think I am to do that. Just because I'm starting to realize it's going to be hard to integrate that all into an exhibit that makes sense. Oh, what you find crazy is that humanity progressed very slowly, but in the 1800s sped up so fast, went to the moon and created the internet in less than 50 years. Yeah. I mean, that's due well, okay. I say mostly. One of the reasons for that, because the more you get into history, the more you learn there is no such thing as an absolute in history, really. Things change, and there's no one answer for anything. I mean, we got told that like every other class, right? Like twice a month, something like that. History isn't monocausal, but one of the big reasons for that, kind of the speeding up, was the transmission of information. Basically, you were able to spread ideas a lot faster between people groups in the last 200 years than you have been throughout most of history. And another one was just kind of... Well, we kind of put ourselves into a system that in order to expand it, you had to improve it, and in order to improve it, you needed more resources. And to get more resources, you needed to expand the system further that you already have. So it kind of just kept going into this... We kind of created a feedback loop where we constantly need to innovate and expand in order to keep what we have running. In kind of a way you don't really see until... throughout most of history, because usually it's just food. You know, you want a larger population, you need to expand food production, and that's a much smaller, well, not a smaller scale in terms of land thing, but a much less technologically heavy thing. Kind of. I don't know. I'm trying to remember a whole bunch of historical theory I had to learn, and it's kind of just leaving my head, because I haven't had to do historical theory in a long time. Probably like 4 years now since I did historical theory. Or theory of history. Anyway. The only 4 content creators you know that do this series are me, Lurkeet, Spike, and Best in Slot. Well, I know 2 of the 3. Those 3. No, I don't know Best in Slot. Yeah, I could probably... You know, I bet you if I brought that up to Lurkeet and Spike, I think they'd be interested in doing something like that. We'd have to see. We'd have to see. Dirt shoveling is quite satisfying so far. You know what? I am happy to hear that someone is enjoying my earthworking nonsense. Alright. You know what? I should hop all the way up here real quick just to get a look at what's over the hill. Because that will give me a better idea. Oh, wait. Oh, this part's flat. Okay, what does the rest of this kind of look like? Oh. Oh, sorry, I had to mute there real quick. Man, I sneezed so loudly. I kind of sneeze where your head actually kind of hurts. Woo! At least I didn't slam my head into my desk. Okay, you know, this area is actually going to require less terraforming than this area is, so I kind of want to block out possible path routes. I also think there's going to have to be another connection somewhere over there from the base to the... Well, but then again, what I'm realizing is this over here... Sorry. Sorry, I got a text and I got distracted. What was I gonna say? I keep thinking of how to connect this better to the rest of the park and the rest of the world, but I'm realizing once again, this is not technically part of the park. This is like my base. This would be like staff stuff, IRL, not an area visitors go. So I probably don't need to worry about too many more connections from here to there. I probably will make more as time goes on, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna take some cobblestone real quick. Certain organizations did hinder human progress. I'm assuming that is meant to be religion. And religion's actual impact on slowing human development is a debatable thing. Particularly because, and I think this often gets forgotten, a lot of scientific institutions, especially at least in Europe and the Middle East, were run by the religious schools. They were producing the highly educated people who created the stuff that then pushed people forward. The bigger thing, really, especially if you're really talking about Europe, because Europe suffered a dark age about 2,000 years ago, that Asia did not. Europe's lack of scientific progress has a lot more to do with the collapse of the Roman Empire, large cities, and centralized bureaucracy. Essentially, there was no way to educate people anymore, so education slowed and then stopped. Reading slowed and stopped, and because both of those things slowed and stopped, eventually, basically, Europe kind of went backwards for a bit. But even then, Europe being technologically behind is kind of a misnomer that tends to, I would say, denigrate the ability of non-Western peoples to do things scientifically. Because while Europe was a bit behind because of the Roman collapse, China, the Islamic world, India, they kept pumping forward. And I mean, China invented a lot of stuff a couple hundred years before Europe did because they hadn't collapsed as hard. India would produce a ton of stuff. I mean, the first two caliphates, Islamic caliphates, were basically golden ages for science and philosophy and math. Right around the years, I think it'd be like 700 to early 1100, I think. And then you also have the, what was it? It's not the Abbassids. They're in Spain, Andalusians, Al-Andalus. Fantastic center of learning and science. That's just something I've taken a lot of classes, lots and lots of history classes. That's something my professors harped on, and that is something I have corrected students on before as well. It's just, well, no, that's not correct. Sure, you can make an argument for it if you only look at Western Europe, but if you expand to the globe, it kind of doesn't really change much. Anyway, dirt isn't going to shovel itself. You know what? You're absolutely right. Where am I going? What do you think is the best creature to... Best creature remodel? I don't know yet. Hierarchical leadership around it. I mean, but you could say that about anything like monarchies. I mean, authoritarian structures in general limit human development, but I mean, that's been around since basically the dawn of civilization, going all the way back to the Sumerians. Upper class... Basically, any group in power will do its best to keep people from becoming educated and progressing forward in most ways, because it hinders their ability to control large populations. Again, sorry, I am talking way too much about history. This is meant to be a path, I think, that will kind of come up this way. No more history talk, Caden. People don't watch your channel to learn about history. If I wanted that, I should make a history channel where I talk about history. I don't think I would make a history channel. I genuinely don't think people would watch that. I don't know. I just don't think it would be very interesting for most people. Where do I put this building? Do I actually just move it over here? Well, but then the problem I'm going to run into is there's a couple of just huge open spaces with nothing in them. I do need to throw it over here. Okay, okay. So I think what we can kind of do then is 1, 2. Let's see if we do like that, and then that, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. That could kind of be like our entrance type thing, I think. Well, because yeah, if the path is going to go that direction to get us up the hill, we need to go from there. Oh gosh, anarchist socialist. That's certainly... I mean, it's got some points. But anarchism generally has, well, its own flaws. Bigger... When are we going to see one of the bigger dinosaurs get their exhibits? Whenever I get around to it. Any herd exhibits? I don't know if I'll do any of those. What am I going to build? Dinosaurs are history, just not human history. That's true. No, I don't think I'd make history videos. Just because I don't think they'd be entertaining for most people. Because it'd just be me rambling about things I enjoy. And oh gosh, I'm just thinking about the production time behind that. Would be pretty... I guess if I was going to do that, I need to... Oh gosh, I need to do a whole lot of extra work I don't have time for at this point. Okay, I will say, I do know one thing I want to do for this build, and that is I want some sort of central, like, somewhat central. Do I literally just rip it from the last time I did one of these? Okay, but then I want to think about the path. Does the path go along this way? Do I just raise this all up by a block? Oh my goodness, do I do that? Is that what we have to do to make this work correct? Do I need to move this hill back further? Do I need to just delete the hill? And I delete the hill. Where does the hill go? Where does the hill go? Where does it go? Where? How big is this hill? And I delete the hill. Okay, I can delete the hill. Like, okay, it's separate enough I can delete it. That's the case. The problem is, if I delete the hill, this video will not come out till, like, March 8th. And I don't want to wait that long to upload, so... Gosh, I need to figure it out. Have I thought about a sheep farm? Yes, I have a sheep farm over there. Don't I do that anyway? You know what? You're not wrong. I already do kind of just ramble on about things I enjoy. Fair point. One of the enclosures have ancient architecture. I probably won't do ancient architecture in an exhibit. What I will do, though, is I do plan to do an archaeology area somewhere. Like, create a dig site would be super cool. Tunnel going into the... Oh. This is the part of that where it just talks for a while. Okay. Oh, wait. Perfect. Where am I? Tunnel going into the hill with little exhibits with some small bugs could look cool. That is something I have considered. I did consider the tunnel idea, because that's something I've done in the past. I think. And that could work pretty well, I think, actually. Alright, well, I guess if we kind of just started here. So, where would an entrance be? An entrance would need to be somewhere like here. So, let's do like that, that, bam, bam, bam. Inside that I feel. No, that was wrong. How do these buildings go? Well, let's just kind of like, I guess, do this. Is 5 blocks interior? No, I want at least 7. We want 7 7 things. 7 block width, because that won't give us enough space. I guess at the end of the day, part of the building can just go into the side of the hill, and that's fine. Okay, but I guess if that was that, right? How wide do I probably want at least 4 blocks in the interior of the building on either side. So we'd want like that. And then we can kind of just start making boxes. Like, obviously, this would not be the final shape of anything, because this is kind of just not interesting looking. But I am thinking if we did something like this, oh, then 4. You do like that. Okay, now we need to start getting some cobblestone back. Let's see. The In the Walls exhibit is, well, I guess that's almost what I'm thinking now with that idea that was suggested. Is that I think I'd rather save that for some other animals, not in this area, because an exhibit hidden in like a tunnel in some caves is something I really like to do with Compsognathus. I have done multiple compy enclosures at this point that are all buried into the walls. And I don't know why I keep burying my Compsognathuses. I just really think it looks cool when they're like in some cave exhibit. Oh, I need to actually count this now. Okay, like let's say 5 blocks. Oh, did I actually? Wow. All right. My brain can occasionally do what it needs to do. Okay. So that would be the central thing. And then let's just kind of wrap it in a layer of blocks like this, right? So we can kind of get around here and just be like, give us the basic shape of the building. Or not the shape, the footprint of the building. Because, you know, I mean, I'll add like nicer looking corners and curves and whatnot. But before we can do any of that, we do just need a basic shape. Figure things out. What about a pit for a big bug? Or if you built a tunnel into the wall and then extend to the other side. Like, doesn't need to be a cage. I could. The Jurassic Park Troodon never gets added to this mod or any other mod. This is... Oh, yeah, no, I actually don't think I do... Sorry, my voice is starting to go a little bit, I think. What was I gonna say? Oh, no. Troodon, actually, if it does ever get added, I have a plan for it, but it is not the Jurassic Park thing. Ironically, it's something I was considering doing as well if Tyrannus ever gets added. If a Troodon or some of those other far northern... Well, because Troodon isn't even a thing anymore. But if some of those, like, more Arctic Circle-like dinosaurs ever get added, I want to do a building with them and have them enclosed so I can give them a snow enclosure. Because I thought that would be kind of cool. Maybe not ultra-realistic, but, you know, as... I try to follow the rule of cool, you know? Is it the most realistic thing? Probably not. Does it look cool, though? Yeah. So, it's worth doing, then. Thought some stuff would look cool in caves, i.e. like all the trilobites on the paleozoic of creatures, and order the animals in order of their evolution as actual science. I did consider doing like we order them based on like exact time period and whatnot. The problem is the park would be it would be really hard to build this park if I did it by that, because there are time periods that don't have animals yet, so I'd have to skip them. But if I don't know what's coming, I can't adequately plan about that, so it'd be kind of hard to lay out a park like that. But that is a cool idea. If I had a bit more of a solid idea of what was coming, I would consider that. Just not right now. Or at least not until I have a better idea of what's going on with the mod, and when, you know, like, are we getting update, or when we would get updates and stuff like that. And what they're gonna be and all those things. Oh, how big is this thing? Well, then we could, like, even do something like that. Alright. I'm gonna layer another ring around the building. Why? Because I think I've got an idea here that could work for something later. I need more cobblestone. I could be doing this out of wool, but I don't have like a quick thing to something to mine wool with quickly. I do have a thing that mines stone quickly, so. Is this more of a zoo park or a dinosaur sanctuary / ranch? This is probably more of a park, a zoo park, a zoo thing, than a sanctuary. I don't know. Honestly, it'll be whatever it is. That's the only thing I can say for certain. This series will be what it is at the end of the day. Is it a park? Is it a sanctuary? I have no idea. It's just whatever I end up building. Sort of an educational tunnel? I mean, that's a cool idea. I will certainly consider that. It does kind of sound like something more that would work as like an... Excuse me. Again, my voice. Does sound kind of more like something that would work for a museum, maybe in the future. I do think I'd build another museum. I've built a museum on a couple of worlds at this point. Kind of like, you know, I've built museums, I've built aquariums, I've built all sorts of stuff. Oh, did I? Oh, that's why. Okay. There we go. Okay. Will I be adding Ice Age stuff? Hopefully. Could add a little plant house where the bugs are kind of free living. Well, that's kind of the plan for the center area. I think I'm going to try and throw Arthropleura. And I guess if I add glass into the whole thing, it would be Arthropleura and Meganura in here. And then built into the sides would be our, like, amphibians. Which I guess if these ones, if I take this side, I guess, and I put, where I'd probably have to dig into the hill, I could probably put Diplocalus and Crassigyrinus in here then, because they wouldn't really need to be, like, what's the word? Facing the outside, because, I mean, you know, I'm not really gonna... Well, one is too small. The Diplocalus, I mean, I remember it being small in the last version of the mod, but it feels really small now, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I think the Diplocalus is absolutely adorable, but it is extremely tiny. Where's the overpriced food, drink amenities? Nowhere yet. Maybe I'll add that in at some point. That would be kind of funny. I mean, what if you do a compy enclosure that looks into a restaurant like zoos do for meerkats? I've done that in the past. Usually, I like to do that with hadrosaurs or kind of more of a medium-sized animal where you can see them a bit easier. They kill each other. No, they do not. I actually tested that. You could stick Diplocalus, Meganeura, and Arthropleura in the same exhibit, and they do not bother each other. You cannot stick any of those three, though, with Tiktaalik, Crassigyrinus, or, basically... Well, yeah, those three... Okay, that's what I was trying to say. You can't stick Tiktaalik or Crassigyrinus in an exhibit with those three animals, but those three are okay together. They will not bother each other. Which I guess actually means I could probably even... Well, that's the problem. I do think it'd be cool to throw those three animals together. The problem I'm seeing, though, is that would require more water in this area. Well, I'm gonna have to throw some water in, I think, to make it look more carboniferous. Maybe we do throw Diplocalus in here, too. But then I think I need to make it a little bigger. But we could do that. I mean, yes, then... Like, if we just kind of went like that, and then cut into the side here, right? On both ends, we could expand this out by one block. Because again, I'm probably gonna make this a like dome type thing. Kind of more like that, I guess? I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna have to keep messing around with it before I fully figure out what I want to do here. But I guess then this could just be Crassigyrinus, like, not all of this space, but actually, I mean, this would give us a lot of space to kind of mess with terrain and make something really, really cool looking. And then Tiktaalik I would probably throw out here. I guess this is kind of like the middle of the building. So if we went here... So if we block that, and bada bing, bada boom. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, they did kill each other. No, the Meganeura killed everything back in the day. They were super hyper aggro. They are not that way anymore, I think. Well, at least in all the tests I did, they weren't that way anymore. Okay. Is he doing something like this? And then... maybe even kind of bring it back here. Like this, and then... No, that's a bit too... space. I am kind of borrowing from... my previous Tiktaalik exhibit, which did feature an outdoor area. Alongside the main exhibit. Like this. So then like there, you could kind of throw this being the interior of the enclosure. And then this is like the outside part. And then I guess you could... Well, actually, if we switch this around and undo everything I just did, If we flip the side it's on, we could make out here there be a... that was English. Out here... out here we could make a secondary entrance to get in and out of the building. I need to just bring some torches with... Well, I don't like to light up a lot of builds while I'm working on them, because I always know I'm going to dig up the ground, and then I'm going to dig up all the torches, then I'm going to have to replace them, and that's always annoying, and yeah. Are we going to make historic environments for these bugs like the carboniferous wetlands and swampy conditions? I will try. I did see there were comments of some people being very upset with me that the Dimetrodon and Adaphosaurus exhibits were not accurate Permian environments because I had included grass and modern trees. And I realized in the episode I said I was going to do an accurate environment and I didn't. I'll put it like this. I will attempt to recreate more realistic environments to a degree. Because at a certain point, I run into a problem, and that is there are just not a lot of prehistoric plants or a lot of interesting ways to do prehistoric environments in this game. So you kind of do end up just having to use modern stuff to really like flesh it out. And that's probably what I'm going to end up doing is I think I'm going to try and make a swampy environment. I think I'll try to do something really cool and swampy, but I'm also probably going to take some liberties with what I use in order to make it a bit more, you know, lively and interesting. Okay, I think if... Sorry, I keep coughing. Where's my water? That's a bit better. Okay. Okay. I think this might be better here. We'll see. I don't like putting entrances right in the corners all the time because I feel like that doesn't always work correctly. Okay, but what that does mean is potentially, at least, this can become an exterior exit. Or a way to get out of the building. And we could maybe even do like something cool back here. Then we could throw the Tiktaalik indoor enclosure, maybe like here. I'm just kind of roughing out shapes here. Once again, everything you're seeing here is not like a final version or anything. This is just whatever I think could work. Okay. Well, and then we could do like an entrance between the exhibits there. So, and out here, do like another area to leave, I think. Now, I will say, if this is kind of the thing I end up building, I think, actually, out of all, this is basically taking from a ton of designs I've already made, but kind of improving upon them. I will say, at least, that, oh, it's raining. I think this is okay for right now. I think it's interesting, and I think that's what I want to aim for. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm trying to think with this build right now, at least, is how can I fit everything that we already have in while also allowing for me to expand. Like, because again, if things keep getting added in, let's say for this pre-dinosaur period, I want more space for them. So I think if we built like this, that gives this whole back wall here where I could dig in, or not dig in, I could basically just cut out a wall here and just keep going. I think that would work. Or, you know, we could take the suggestion of digging into the mountain more, and we could go this way and add more exhibits there. Honestly, loving the series and the stream at the moment. It's therapeutic to watch you do this evening. Keep it up. Thank you so much. You want a Jurassic Park game, kind of like Until Dawn or Dark Picture games? That'd be kind of cool. I mean, that's basically what the Telltale Jurassic Park game was. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the builds I've been able to do. Been watching a lot of Lurkeet lately, and you and him have the best build designs. Thank you. Personally, I mean, I guess this is my own take. I absolutely adore what Lurkeet is doing. Lurkeet is an absolutely fantastic builder. If anyone watching this stream, if you don't currently watch Lurkeet, go check him out. The dude is so good at building. Actually incredible. Like, honestly, he is someone I would say is easily better at building than I am. Like, I wish I could build the kind of stuff Lurkeet does. Lurkeet just does an incredible job. It's really fun to watch him build. So yeah, if you haven't checked his channel out, go check it out. Go see what he's doing, because whatever I'm doing, he's probably done an even cooler version of it. Like, genuinely, the man is insane at building. I don't like it being completely flat at the back, so what I will do is find the center point here. And we'll kind of go out like that, I think. Okay, we need to go one more out. And I don't know what this will be exactly, but I realized I forgot to talk there. It's kind of like sometimes I accidentally forget to breathe, except it's talk when I'm streaming, which usually comes down to the fact, and I know I've mentioned this many times before, I don't usually, well, I struggle to multitask, which in this case is talk and build. So I kind of revert back to what I normally am like when I'm building this stuff, which is I am just kind of sitting here silently placing blocks. But I think we could do that for right now. I'm gonna go deal with this creeper real quick because I want to get rid of you, because you will blow up stuff and make my world look very unpretty. Ugly is the word for unpretty. Centerpiece fountain featuring a fossil on a pedestal. I do. Oh, that would work back. I'll think about that actually. Be a lighthouse or a clock tower or something off on a hill in the background for the park. I mean, I could go for the full Poet Plays thing and do like the was it a clock tower or was it a lighthouse he had in his world? I don't remember. I haven't watched Poet Plays in by like 6-7 years, so I don't really remember. Maybe a bit sooner than that, maybe like 5 years, but no, it probably is about 6 years. I mean, I'll be honest, like Poet's one of the reasons I do this whole series. Because that was one of the first Dino series I watched back in the day. But that is a cool idea. I could definitely do that. A viewing tower. I will probably do. Sorry. Wow, my voice is really like, we are not doing this today. No, a viewing tower, I'm absolutely going to do at a couple points. I won't lie, was going to put one here. I was going to put a viewing tower here. Also, you'll notice these are here. I'm probably going to put a shade structure on top of this to, I don't know, make it a bit nicer. But I like doing viewing towers. I'll probably do one when we get to the sauropods like Diplodocus and Brachiosaurus. So that's when that'll probably happen. What else are people saying? Second story to this? Yeah, I could also do that. I wasn't planning to make it a 2-story building, though. I think I was just planning on making it kind of tall. Like, maybe, like, 6 blocks high just before the ceiling. And then once we get to the ceiling, well, I have big plans for this. I'm trying not to spoil too much for what's going to be in the episode, but we'll kind of see. I think this is a decent layout already. I think there's some good stuff here. I wanted you and Poet to return for the port, but he's still a no-show. Magnius. I vaguely remember that guy from way back when. Yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't... It's kind of weird. Fossils and Archeology still feels kind of weird to be recording. Because, in a lot of ways at least, like, it's a bit of a... Well, I guess a fossil, almost. It's a bit of a relic from the old days of YouTube. Which, I don't know. I mean, I like playing it. I'm actually really enjoying the port. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of weird because, yeah, like, most of the people who used to play this, they don't upload anymore. Or their channels have been, like, MIA for a long time. So there's parts of this where it just feels like, man, I'm playing some old, forgotten lore type thing. But I enjoy it. I'm having a good time with this. But yeah, I remember when Dinos was huge. So hey, you know what? If I... Never mind. I'll save that for later. I do think, though, it would be cool to... No, I keep almost saying things, but then I'm like, I'm gonna save that idea for later. I'm gonna save that idea for sometime else. Okay, but I think we've gotten a good bit of planning here. I'm probably not gonna do the actual building right now, like actually getting all of this figured out, because A, I haven't picked the block palette yet, and I need to do that. And B, I'm gonna have to like time lapse the whole thing. And I won't lie, part of the reason I don't like doing time lapses, though I'm trying to do more of them, speaking of which, there actually were supposed to be time lapses in all of the last 3 episodes. The problem was, essentially I had screwed up my replay mod and it kept breaking the time lapses, so I wasn't able to use any of them. But anyway, I don't like doing large time lapses for these videos because I only work on a project like this for maybe like 30 minutes at a time of actual building, and then I get off and go do something else. Because if I just sit here for 4 hours and just work on the build nonstop, I will go crazy and run out of ideas. But I am trying to do more time lapses because people seem to like them, and I don't know. They're probably something good to do a bit more of. Get more practice with doing them and all that. Alright, anyway. Oh, it did return. He'd have to reboot a series because he's the former version. Yeah, I mean, that is really the biggest problem, I think, with anyone who runs a long-term modded series of any sort, is the longer it goes on, the more difficult it is to keep updating, because, with every new update, suddenly, you have new things to deal with, new mods, mods that no longer work, world corruption issues. It's hard to run a series like this for a very long time. Just part of also why I don't like to stick on one world for more than a few years, because eventually, if it jumps versions enough, you just run into a lot of problems. Have I thought of making a Prehistoric Kingdom series? I have, actually. I think they're still up. I had a Prehistoric Kingdom series. I have made Prehistoric Kingdom speed builds way back in the day. Back when it was in alpha, I think. which is kind of wild. I liked a lot of those builds. Would I return to it? Maybe. The thing is, I need to play it for a couple of months to remember how to do anything in it. So if I bring back that series, it will not be anytime soon. It'll probably be a little while. The days of playing fossils and Mo creatures? Yes, man, I remember those. It's the good old days. The good old days. Back when Mo creatures was still a thing. I don't think that mod's really even been updated in a long time. You're saying about most people who used to make have maybe basically retired is true, but that makes you, Lurkeet, and a few others the new generation. Well, no. A correction to that statement. Lurkeet, Spike, and a couple others, they are the new generation of Minecraft Dinosaurs YouTubers. I'm old in this. I mean, I've been making this series since I was in, like, I don't know, like... Now, the main ones that are still up on the channel, at least, I mean, I was making those in high school. I was making those, like 9 years ago. So, like, I'm part of the old generation of it. I'm just not a big channel, so it seems like I'm part of the newer generation bit. Which is funny to me. I should go sleep so it doesn't tick over, because phantoms are annoying. I haven't seen a phantom yet, and that's a good thing. Waffle Galaxy playing Pulse in Archeology. Oh gosh, yeah, other people are gonna grow up watching me. Now that's the weird thing, is people who have already told me, like, oh, I remember watching all your videos when I was in middle school, and now I'm graduating high school. And I'm like, what the heck? Excuse me? Yeah. I don't know, I feel like the way to solidify myself as a part of the old guard of Minecraft Dinosaurs is I need to hit 100k. Oh, speaking actually of old guard, or older channels that are the old YouTubers who used to run this series, Ironstone Mine. That was probably the best Minecraft Dinosaurs series there was. That was pretty wonderful builds. That's the series that showed what what a series like this could actually be. Not just simple enclosures and builds and whatnot, but like incredibly detailed, high effort, complicated stuff, just huge projects, and I don't know, that to me was always really, really cool to see. Still part of the next generation because you came back, fair enough. What would my favorite era be? Between like the new and, well, okay, I guess there's 3 eras. There's the really old guys, that's like, I'd say Poet, and probably like Little Lizard Gaming, and I don't know, like a bunch of other YouTubers who played the mod originally before it was even Fossils and Archaeology Revival. Then there was like the old period, which was, more of like the people who are, I'd say, I guess Waffle Galaxy, Poet, probably Best in slots in there. And a couple of others. I guess that's probably the group I'm more part of. And then you have I guess the newer generation, and to me that's people like Spike, Lurkeet, couple of others. Well, and I guess that's the thing as well. I only really know the Fossils and Archaeology guys because I didn't really spend a lot of time watching Jurassic Craft stuff. But I mean, I know Smithy MC was huge for Jurassic Craft for a while, and I think he's still making videos. That's kind of cool. I don't know what my favorite era would be. I'd say probably that middle one when I started making the videos, because yeah, that was like Fade, Ironstone Mine, kind of like the newer stage of Poets Park. Bunch of stuff like that. That was probably my favorite era, both to make content in and watch. I liked that period. But I think a lot of the stuff that's being made right now is really good too. Also, there is that one missing block in the pathway, and I am going to go fix that real quick because it's driving me crazy. The Calf Cast introduced me to Jurassic Craft. Oh, wow, I forgot about Calf Cast. Wow, yeah, no, that's a name I don't think I've heard in years. That's a real blast. I don't remember watching him that much, but I remember I do remember that vaguely. You're still kind of part of the new generation. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It's weird remembering all this stuff. Sometimes I kind of forget how old fossils and archaeology really is. It's been around for quite a while. But hey, you know what? With the new update, and if they keep rolling out updates with new content, hopefully, because what the mod existed and it kind of died when fossils and archaeology died. Then the revival team came back and was updating it a bunch, and it got pretty popular again. So you know what? I mean, I kind of hope, well, partially for my channel, but also just kind of for the community. Maybe we have a second fossils and archaeology renaissance where, it kind of becomes a big thing again. I think that would be pretty cool if we saw that happen. Okay, how do I want to do this? Oh gosh, I keep coughing. I'm so sorry. Y'all having to hear my lungs proceed to die. How do I want to do this, actually? I think I need to change this part here, at least. I need to make it a bit smaller. Again, I'm trying to build this more in mind with the idea of eventually this may need to expand, and how do I prepare for that? So trying to make it look really nice and pretty and whatnot, but also leaving enough space that I can grow this building later if I need to, or add things onto it. Doing their 12th anniversary server stuff. Wow, that's crazy. Donira mod. I don't care if the creator is a bad person. Donira is a unique mod. I haven't heard of that mod. I also don't know a lot of the drama that goes on in all these prehistoric animal mods, though apparently it's just like constant and like insane. I mean, I guess the biggest one I knew was always the Jurassic Craft stuff, but that's because I knew a person on one of, what was it? He was on like several of the Jurassic Craft teams because that mod kept having civil wars and exploding. But yeah. Kind of weird to remember Jurassic Craft. I don't think I'd go back and play Jurassic Craft again, in all honesty. I guess if there was massively high demand for it, maybe, but I don't know. I didn't like making that series because it was really annoying to build for, but there were some really cool builds in it. This needs more, but I don't feel like designing it yet because I don't know what this space would be for. I'd have to figure that out first. Goodness. I'm actually dying over here. Oh. I got an idea there. I have some ideas. Well, I have a lot of ideas for this world right now. When do I start going into some of those? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. You'd have your own Dino series. You'd have Revival, Prehistoric Nature, Rexit, Jurassic Craft, and Alex's Caves. That'd be interesting. Have I played Spore or Operation Genesis? Let me tell you, my dude. I have played both, and I have recorded and uploaded a series on JPOG. I don't know if I still have those videos up, but I did play it. It was pretty good. I liked Spore too. I don't know if I have my Spore copy. Well, no, I don't have my Spore copy anymore because I had a CD. I don't have a CD or a CD. Yeah, I don't have a CD player on my computer, so I can't play it anymore. I could probably buy it again, but I don't know if I want to buy Spore again. Like, it's fun for a little bit, and then you just kind of, I don't know, it loses its appeal pretty quick, I think. It's one of those games where the underlying idea is really cool, they just didn't really deliver on it. How many bugs will there be? However many are currently in the mod, so 2. 2 bugs, 3 amphibians in here. Well, 2 bugs, 2 amphibians, and a tetrapod fish thing. A fishy. A little fish. Alright. Have I tried out prehistoric nature? I will check it out. How many cores does my PC have? 97. Especially us holding on to relevancy for now. Yeah, I don't know. I never liked it as much as Fossils and a lot of the other mods. I don't know. It was never quite my style. But it had some cool stuff in it. Huh. There's a weird smell. Must be, I think it's coming from outside. I hope it's coming from outside. I think this is about all I've got, though. I have a beautiful world. It looks really nice. Thank you. USB disk drive, fairly cheap. I could play the original Assassin's Creed. Oh, nice. Will I be making a normal zoo series? Yeah, as soon as I can find a mod list I enjoy and figure out an idea for it. Once those two things come together, I will make one. But anyway, I think for right now, at least, I'm going to end this off here because I have some stuff I probably need to get done outside of the content creation nonsense. And, yeah, I've been going for about 2 hours, so my voice is going to disappear if I don't. So I think we'll cut it off here. Thank you all guys for joining me on this. I know this was kind of a weird time to stream. I don't usually stream on weekdays, but I thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone who's showed up. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys are excited for the next episode. I'm excited to get this thing put together and built for all of y'all. So I think, all that being said, thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next time.